Where do I start? Where do I begin? How do I stop? Where do I start?
We went to this most amazing school called the More Than Me School. It's an American lady called Katie Mailer, quite young. She came across this project in Liberia she wanted to create called More Than Me. And she's fantastic at raising money. She's fantastic at getting interest from people. And this was her project. And if you saw remember the video at the beginning, there were all the girls lined up and they were all cheering. This is the same school. And you know what was fantastic is, this was our very first real experience of being out and about in Liberia. Because by the way, when we arrived, we kind of stayed in this 5-star hotel, and it could have been anywhere. It could have been India or Indonesia or Thailand. It was just like a nice 5-star hotel, kind of completely incongruent. So we go out and we get out of the bus, and it's searingly hot, and all we can hear is this noise of kids. And the gates open to this school, and these kids just pour out. And we're walking down the road, and they run up to us, and they leap up, and they hug us, and they go, "I love you, I love you." And these huge smiles on their face. And that's one of the things I love about Liberia, is that people are just so full of smiles. I don't know exactly how many girls were in the school, but they youngest is 6. Although looking at them, I thought there might be 1 or 2 that were a bit younger than that. And the oldest is about 15. And we went into their classrooms and we played games. And it's created a real connection. We had about an hour with them to talk to them. The reason why these girls were in this school and the actual project of More Than Me, they have all been found on the streets working as prostitutes. 80% of them in West Point. The vast majority will have been put on the streets by their parents because they haven't got any food. Some of them would volunteer to do it because they know that was the only way of getting food. It was well known that when the UN presence was great there, these very girls would go to the UN soldiers and offer sexual favours for food for the family. And what was most remarkable is, we went into their classroom and we wanted to find out more about them. And we went round the room and we said, "So what do you dream of? What's your dream? What do you want to be? If you could do anything, what would you do?" And they said, "I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a journalist." 3 of them said, "I want to be president." It's remarkable. Clarity. 8, 9, 10 years old, they had this clarity of what they wanted to, of their impact in the world. I said to them, "Why do you want to be a doctor? Why do you want to be a journalist?" And this is what blew me away more than anything else. "I want to be a doctor because I want to heal my country. I want to be a lawyer because people should be held accountable. I want to be a journalist because we should tell our story." Can you imagine having that clarity when you were 10 years old? You know, I think of children in the West, and I know it's a different context, we have to be realistic here. It's a different context. You know, kids here at 10 years old, they want to be a scientist or Madonna or something. That shows my age, doesn't it? They want to be something like, not to Lisa, that's probably too edgy, but they want to be Cheryl Cole or whatever it is, or Neymar. And at 18 they want to be a doctor because they want a £4 million house in order to get with a Porsche. And I'm generalising, and it's a different context. And it was so remarkable, though, to go to this school for people, to meet people from such a challenged context, and for them to have such clarity and belief. And the thing that I found most difficult to believe is that whilst the project, and by the way, the teachers were unbelievable, the lessons about resilience, about courage, about self-belief were just remarkable. You know, better than anything else I've seen. World-class education. And yet at night, they walked the mile down the road back into their shelters in West Point. So most of them, or certainly a good proportion of them, are probably still working as sex workers at night. The next stage of this project is amazing because they're going to build dormitories at the school so the girls can actually be taken to a different setting, and they'll have social workers working with the families in parallel with this. Huge project, amazing project. If you had that clarity, what would you do?
Where do I start? Where do I begin? How do I stop? Where do I